I want to just bring everybody up to speed to make sure we're talking about exactly the same thing, so that when I talk about Eagle Manager, we know exactly what the numbers are, exactly what we need to achieve. When I first joined the business, of course, the plan was to work your socks off to get to manager, and then to go senior manager, and then to go soaring manager, on to however far up the marketing plan you need it to go in order to achieve your personal goals. I remember the very first time I sat down with John for a planning meeting and said what I wanted to achieve. His response was, "We've got to get you to manager." And then the next time I sat down with John with a planning meeting, talked about different goals, his response was, "Yeah, we've got to get you to manager." And after about 4 times of him saying this to me, the penny started to drop, that it's actually about getting to manager. And I don't know about you, but it seems that I'm not a very quick learner. I'm not very quick on the uptake, because I'd been to the presentations, I'd seen it all about getting to manager, but I didn't quite realize that meant I had to get to manager. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of very strange things. Oh, you mean I've got to do that stuff too? Oh, I see how this works now. You mean I actually do it, and then I show other people how to do it? I see. You mean I've got to do it? So, you work and you get to manager, and the whole focus is on manager. It's an exciting journey, and I can remember it. I can remember being recognized as supervisor, which means I was an assistant supervisor before that. Difficult to believe. I know it's quite some time ago. But I remember being recognized. I remember being so scared, stood at the side of the stage when I was going to go on. I can't even remember. I can remember it happened just because Jane took a picture, and several years later gave me a picture. When we went soaring, she actually sent me a photo, because we didn't have digital cameras in those days, a photo of being recognized as supervisor, and I just looked terrified, because I'd never been recognized for anything. But then I went assistant manager. I don't know about you, but I kind of felt that about assistant manager, you start to feel that you know what you're doing. You start to feel, oh yeah, I can help these people now. I understand it enough to start getting other people going and get some duplication going. And of course, it's that duplication that moves you on to manager. Here's the thing though. When I went manager, because all the emphasis had been on going manager, I thought, job done. All I've got to do now is tell these people to go manager, and they'll go manager, and Bob's your uncle. I'm going to be rich beyond my wildest dreams. All I have to do is sit back, relax, and the money's going to pour in. I don't know if anybody relates to that. The journey to manager was the main focus. And then what I started to do was I adopted a different strategy. I adopted the swanning around strategy. Yeah, Jane says she can remember it well. Yeah, thank you very much, John. Where you're a manager. Yeah, I'm a manager, You wear your pin, you go to business presentations, you go in, and people sort of whisper, he's a manager. He must know what he's talking about, because he's a manager. You must have experienced this. Everybody in the room must have experienced this. And maybe if you made the same mistake that I did, you go into swanning around manager mode. See, Rex, when he devised the marketing plan, didn't take into account human frailty in this context. He assumed that we were like him, in that he had a vision, he had a mission, and he wouldn't stop until his mission was fulfilled. And I would love to be like that. I've spent the last nearly 20 years working on trying to become like that. But let me tell you, I am not like that naturally. My natural state of being, like many people, is do as little as I need to do to get what I want, and as soon as I've got it, step back and relax. It's called laziness. It is my natural state of being, and it has been a constant battle to overcome. First of all, to recognize this, because of course we don't like to recognize our weaknesses, do we? To recognize this and then to begin to overcome it. And it's a journey I'm still on, I can promise you. And Rex, for years, was confused. People flying to manager, talented people, quality people, flying through the marketing plan to manager, and then kind of drifting aimlessly. Some overcome their inner challenges and went on to build manager businesses and build big pin businesses, but most didn't. Most people were just frail and weak, like I was, and hid and kidded ourselves that it was going better than in fact it was. And you know what? I don't think we should punish ourselves for this, because it's human nature. And I guess most of us in the room are human. So we must share these attributes of human nature. And so Rex was confused that people seemed not to grasp his vision in the kind of quantities that he had imagined in the first place. Because Rex built the marketing plan so we could all be diamonds. That's his vision. He wants to pay diamond bonus to everybody. And yet he was offering us this. He wants to give chairman's bonus to everybody. He was offering us this, and yet few people, relatively few people, were taking him up on it. So they came up with another stroke of genius, and that was to introduce the Eagle Manager qualification. And the Eagle Manager, I think, is a game changer in our business, because it helps those of us who share these weaknesses, who are on a journey of personal development, to have a relatively near-term goal that's going to help us to move forward to those big pin positions, to achieving chairman's bonus level 2, chairman's bonus level 3, sapphire, diamond. It helps to give